Being here with us tonight. Before I begin with the heart of what I have to say, my introductory stuff, there is an important piece of housekeeping that I need to handle. Let me just say that everyone who's been involved in this process so far is fully aware of the fact that emotions are running high in the town and there's a lot of stuff going on. That said, Nanuet is, at its core, a wonderfully diverse and inclusive community. And I want to remind everyone here that it is critically important that everything that's said in this space is respectful and appropriate to everyone. That is really, really important here tonight and in every subsequent meeting that we have of this group. So that's a bottom line important thing. Thank you. I hope you will support us in that. Thank you. So now on to the meeting. So I'm going to talk a little bit about why we're here tonight. I'm going to tell you a little bit about who we are, and by we I mean the people who have organized this meeting tonight. And I'm going to also tell you a little bit about what we've been doing for the last 7 weeks since the time of that first Monday meeting with the church on November 26th. So tonight is about fundamentally information sharing. We're going to share a lot of information with you tonight. We're going to let you know, as I said, who we are, what's our mission, what we've been doing. We're going to pass along a lot of information. Hopefully, after you have heard everything that we have to say and evaluated it, you will figure out whether or not you want to be a part of this group that we are forming. Be a member and join us. It is our great wish that all of you join us, but you need to get the information to figure out whether it's the right thing for you. So that is our goal tonight. But to begin with, to our ultimate end, we need to know who you are. So has everyone received an envelope with a sign-up form? So we were asking you, very important, if you will please fill that form out, make sure that we have your name, your address, your contact information, so that subsequently, whenever you decide, whether you're with us or it's not for you, we'll be able to at least continue to give you information moving forward. So please make sure you sign those things, fill them out. If you want to check the box to donate, pay some dues, join the group, it's all right there for you. So let's move on and talk about who we are, who this group is. First thing I'm going to do is I would like to ask all of the people who I've been working with, we've been working together over the last 7 weeks, who have been instrumental in taking us as far as we have, to just stand up for a minute. Because these people, give it up for them. These people have been working tirelessly for the last 7 weeks. I'm not kidding you when I tell you that. And this is every speck of work that we have done is 100% volunteer. And will continue to be. This is a totally volunteer organization, and people have been working around the clock in order to bring you all together to hopefully coalesce this community. So who are we? We are what I would call an interim leadership group. And by that what I mean by interim is that we are here to transition into a fully fledged organization. And we're not there yet. We have been moving things along in a certain direction, but en route to forming an organization that will have a board of directors and with voting members, and we will ultimately create bylaws like any other institution and begin to operate. By the way, anyone who joins this organization will be a voting member, and hope that there are any number of members of our board of directors sitting right out here tonight. That's where we will draw from you to create this organization. So, obviously, what have we been doing? We came together for obvious reasons. As a group, we were concerned about what was going on in Nanuet. Specifically, we have objected to the sale of Grace Baptist Church to a school of 450 students. Our objections are on the basis of land use and zoning issues. We were concerned about the fragile infrastructure of this town, traffic, health, and safety. That is the thing that triggered our coming together. However, we quickly realized in the time that we have been together that this organization needs to be about more than that, because we will, without question, face more of these instances of potential zoning challenges in the future. So we are hoping to form this group for the long haul. We're not in this for just a one-shot deal to try and make a difference in this one issue that has everybody upset and nervous. We are in it because we fully expect that we need to protect this community for the long haul. So who are we? We are your neighbors. We all live in Nanuet. Everyone has been working on this, either lives in Nanuet or has kids who go to Nanuet schools. We love this town. Just like you. We love the schools. We love this place. We want to protect it, now and in the future. And so, we're forming, with the blessing of a larger governing board, who you will meet soon enough, this thing called the CUPON of Greater Nanuet. Now, CUPON is an acronym. It stands for, let me disengage this. It stands for Citizens United to Protect Our Neighborhoods. And it's not something that we made up. It's an existing, larger organization. We hope to become part of this established, powerful network of independent, community-based organizations unified by common objectives. And the gentlemen that are to my left and to your right represent the leadership from the total organization, and you're going to get an amazing presentation as soon as I get out of here, which will be very soon, I promise. These are the founders and the driving forces of the overarching CUPON organization. And if we fulfill what we need to fulfill, we will be welcomed into that group. Gentlemen, I certainly hope we can manage that tonight. I'm almost done, guys. So, I want to just tell you a few things about what we've been doing for the last 7 weeks to get to this point. Obviously, we have been expressing our objections based on land use and zoning issues and concerns about infrastructure, traffic, health, and safety. We have been disseminating information the best that we can to all of you folks, either digitally or with door-to-door flyers. A lot of you hopefully have received flyers from our efforts. We have mounted a campaign to dissuade the Rockland IDA from approving the proposed buyer's application to do a tax-exempt bond issuance, which is a very favorable way of financing a purchase. And I'm very pleased to say that we've made great progress with that. The IDA has recently put the application to move that effort on hold. We've been meeting with the municipal leaders from the town of Clarkstown, which is important, and they have been fantastic. We have been doing initial fundraising, which is critically important, as you can imagine, to be able to fund our operations once we're up and running. We have interviewed law firms, and we have retained legal counsel, which is also a critical piece to this. And by the way, tonight, you're going to meet our legal counsel, Mr. Stephen Mogul. Great guy. He's going to help us get to where we're going, assuming that we pass muster with CUPON. And we have created a not-for-profit business entity. We've opened up a bank account. We've discussed potential organizational structures. In essence, we have been organizing and preparing to become a true organization. And we've also been getting one heck of an education, because it's been a crash course, let me tell you. And there is a tremendous amount to learn. So, that's a little bit about who we are, what we've been doing, and now, could somebody give me the agenda for tonight? Now I'm gonna, what do I do? Up there, I mean. So, now we're going to get into the real heart of the evening. These are the areas that we're going to be talking about tonight. First thing we're going to do is we are going to have Mr. Michael Miller. Michael, could you stand up for just 1 second? Michael is the founder of the CUPON organization. And we are honored to have him here tonight. He is a brilliant man, and he started this whole thing. And he has set up chapters of the CUPON all over this county and in New Jersey. Anywhere, any other states, Michael?
Just New Jersey and New York.
Just New Jersey and New York. Michael will be doing a brilliant presentation shortly to tell you all about how CUPON works. After that, we're going to have a discussion about donations and fundraising, because of course we need money to be able to operate. We will then talk about the process whereby board members will be selected if you choose to join this organization. We'll talk about potential property sales in Nanuet that are other things that we need to be aware and vigilant about. And then, of course, there will be an important update on the actual status of the Grace Baptist Church sale. And then, as I said before, we'll meet with Stephen Mogul, our lawyer, who'll tell you a little bit about how he envisions fitting into this whole process. And then we will have closing remarks. And let me just say one last thing, and then I'll get out of here. And that is that we have a very special guest with us tonight who will join us at the time we do our closing remarks. And that is George Homan, the town supervisor. Right over here. And we are thrilled to have him. He has been an enormous support. The town has been amazing in this process thus far, and we expect that to continue to play out. So don't leave early, because you're going to want to hear Mr. Homan speak to us at the end. So on that note, I am done, believe me. And I will bring Michael. I will introduce you to Michael Miller, the founder of CUPON. Michael.
Thank you. It's not on. Can you hear me? Oh, okay. Thank you. I'm Michael Miller again, and the founder of CUPON. We started CUPON back in 2015. We formed a number of organizations that I will show you in a minute. With me tonight is Mr. Gordon Wren. One of the organizations that we formed for CUPON is CUPON Inc., which is a county-wide CUPON. Gordon, we've elected him as president of that organization. And we also have Ed Sheridan from Chestnut Ridge. Ed is the head of the Chestnut Ridge CUPON organization. So tonight, what I want to do with you is just review what CUPON is about and what's necessary for you to join the CUPON organization. I know that there's a number of issues, or one main issue in particular going on here in Nanuet, but we're not going to address your issues that's going on. We're addressing just the CUPON organization, so you'll understand what CUPON is about. If you have any questions on a slide that I'm showing, I'd be happy to address it during the slide. But other than that, if you have any questions, it can be addressed at the end of my presentation. This is the CUPON mission, okay? Our mission, as you can clearly say, to summarize this, now this isn't specific to Nanuet, it's specific to any local municipality in New York or New Jersey or anywhere else. So what CUPON is really about is that it's about land use. When the people that we have elected and the appointed bodies does not act in the best interest of the entire community when they make the land use decisions, we, CUPON, will stand up and oppose what they're doing. And that involved a lot of activities, some of what you heard earlier. CUPON organizations has gained recognition in other communities. Here are some of the communities that has already formed CUPONs, okay? At the top of it is called ROSA, Rockland Organization for Sustainability in the Safe Aquifer. Most of you, or some of you may know, that ROSA resisted building over our aquifer in Ramapo. They fought Patrick Farms, development of Patrick Farms for 10 years in an environment where our local government was pro-builder and doing everything that they could to pass laws and get through the zoning and planning boards to allow this builder to build over 600 units on top of the aquifer. This aquifer is very important for Rockland County and Bergen County. But when we got out of the local legal systems, courts, and got into the state courts this year, early last year, the court ruled that the entire process that the town had approved for Patrick Farms was null and void. So they had to start all over again. The rest of these organizations, I mentioned CUPON Inc., which Gordon is heading that up, and we take the leaders of each one of the coupons, and we're having periodic meetings, and hopefully our next meeting, Nanuet is going to be there and have a seat at the table. The last coupon organization we just brought on is in NIAC. I say NIACs because all of the NIACs has formed a single coupon, and they're now active. And also I want to thank Mr. George Holman, your supervisor. He's very supportive of CUPON. We've met with him several times. And if we had other elected officials that are supportive as he is, there wouldn't be a need for CUPON. There are other organizations that are forming in similar neighborhoods. There's the Nanuet Civic Association. Who are these people? It's Nanuet, that's you people? Okay. And there's several others in Muncie, Suffern, Ramapo, and on the 19th we have 5 towns in Orange County that we're meeting with like this, and they want to form a coupon. Coupon focus areas. Here they are: overdevelopment, illegal housing, zoning issues, code enforcement, block busting. All coupons or all areas are not concerned about every one of these things at any one time. But sooner or later, some of these things will affect you. So, the purpose of the Code of Conduct. This is Code of Conduct. Coupon exists is to support the lifestyle we're accustomed to, and this includes adherence to all laws, regulations, and ethnic behavior. This is what our reputation is built on: integrity, non-bias, inclusiveness, fairness, and dignity and respect. Our focus area, CUPON's focus area, is land use only. It's not about any individual or organization. And that's very important going forward. See, we do not condone or tolerate communication in any media, public or private, of anyone saying anything that's anti-people or organizations. Because we find that in different communities, everyone wants to grow and live a lifestyle similar to what we have. And when you are critical of that and making public statements about those people, you're damaging everyone. So, as you join, as other towns and villages joins CUPON, as long as when sometimes there are people that will say and do things that is not consistent with the CUPON objectives and standards and organizations, we would have no choice but to expel those organizations or not accept them in the first place. So this is very important. Overdevelopment. We should not be opposed to reasonable growth in our communities. We must not oppose people not like us doing desiring to relocate in our communities. What CUPON support is controlled growth that enhances our neighborhoods. And that includes housing, schools, religious institutions, and businesses, okay, that will improve what we have, not to tear it down, not to make it worse. Okay. And they, of course, they have to comply with health and safety and be based on inclusiveness of all residents. Illegal housing. Again, everything that we do may not be an issue within each area, either in a village or unincorporated area or town, but illegal housing is a very important issue in some towns and villages, especially in my unincorporated portion of Ramapo. So what we've done And really how we got involved with Gordon was Gordon has trained our people how to identify these illegal structures. And through Gordon and the county, we report them to the town and to the county and demand some action to be done. So, but it was very important that Gordon showed us how to do this. Now, when we identify those, we work with the building inspectors as well as the Rockland County Initiative and the Rental Registry for reporting illegal activities. Now, working with the county, especially for legal rental registry, is important more than maybe the town or a local village. The county, well, we were told that some of the building inspectors aren't able to gain entry to what they suspect to be an illegal residence because there's no law that will allow them to do that. Well, the county can do it. The county will go, when we report it to the county, they will go with a warrant. And if the owner will not let them in, they'll call the police and gain entry. We reported a number of them to the county. The vast majority come back as illegal residents. And the county takes some action, then we report them to the town, and they take some action. So that's helping us to clear up some of this activity. Zoning variances. When you go to your planning and zoning boards, in some of the villages, they're hampered by local laws and whatever that may prevent them. Sometimes they do not want to pass something because of some certain laws, and mainly the local law. Some villages, some towns' villages will pass the law because they're friendly with the developers. Well, anytime this stuff happens, we get involved, CUPON get involved. We understand what the variances are for a given project, and you get involved in the beginning so that you can object to it when you go to these planning and zoning boards. That's where you state your objection, and later, if necessary, you can take some legal action. Code enforcement. Now this is purely the type of thing where you keep your neighborhood beautiful. Some residents don't keep their property up to what it should be. You have code enforcers that are either overworked or non-existent. This group, or what this project does, it enhances or helps the code enforcers to identify those properties that are not up to standards with your neighborhood, so that they can quickly go and issue violations or warn residents to bring them up to speed. And most of this in the code enforcement area is something that a lot of people are just not aware of. Some are just do not keep their property up to speed, but a large portion of them are just not aware of what's required. Blockbusting. I don't know if any of you know or heard about what's been going on with blockbusting in Ramapo, but realtors and others are bombarding homeowners with door knockings, mailings, flyers, and things to sell their homes. Some of these solicitations have threatening undertones. They will tell you, sell now, or we're going to take over your neighborhood, and then you're not going to be able to get as much money. Okay? And other types of threats to get people to sell their properties. Some towns and villages has passed all kinds of local laws, but we find that some of them just don't work. They're still doing the same things. So we got the state involved, and we had a meeting with the Department of State. I think that was in 2017. We had a meeting at the Rockland County RCC, and there was several hundred people there, including many realtors. And what they explained to us after many meetings that we had with our state officials is we needed to provide evidence that this was happening. So they asked us to gather in evidence for each given area and send it to them, and they would make a decision. Now, the village that did that religiously was Chestnut Ridge. And as a result, the Department of State issued a cease and desist order for all realtors in Chestnut Ridge. So in order for them to advertise in Chestnut Ridge in any means, the residents had to opt in or opt out and prevent the realtors from advertising for them. This activity is still going on. We're working with our state elected officials to continue to evaluate other communities and to work with the Department of State to get them back here again so that we can stop some of this activity. Things to do when establishing the coupon. As James mentioned to you before, here's a number of things that you need to do and you've already done. But this is very important. Continuing with things to do, organization, you have to elect officials, determine the type of organization, whether you're going to be a nonprofit, what type of a nonprofit you're going to be, or whether you're going to be tax exempt. You have to apply for employee identification numbers, develop organizing statements, which is the certification of incorporation from New York State. And then you go to the federal government and apply for your tax exemption. So, now, I think you've already done, Nanuet has already done most of this. We're going to give them our bylaws, which they can customize to some extent to use for your organization. This is what the organization looks like, typically. Not exactly, but if you have all of these different areas, your committee will look something like this. The task that they have to perform, you need people to work with them to perform the task in each one of these areas. So this stuff doesn't happen automatically, so I'm sure they're going to be asking for volunteers to help them to perform the task in these areas. It doesn't take a lot of work once you get organized and volunteer for this, okay? This is very important, the relationships. As a nonprofit group of citizens, it's very important that your organization form relationships with all of these bodies and any others. Developing adversarial relationships is just going to cause you problems. I mean, your building inspector, if they're not cooperative, to develop an adversarial relationship is not in your best interest. Do the best that you can to form that relationship with each one of these organizations, especially your fire department. Your fire department, when anyone want to do development in your area, they have to send what is called a GML, a General Municipal Law, review to the fire department. And if the fire department rejects it and says this doesn't meet the health and safety standards, then when it goes back to your boards, it requires a supermajority in order to approve it. Okay, so it's important to deal, and in our area, we meet at in the firehouse. So it's very important to have a good relationship with the fire department. And all of these other people. A lawyer, certified planner, the county. In the county, again, anytime there's any development going on, they have to issue a GML, and the county will respond. Young lady there called, I think her name was Arlene Miller, reviews most of the stuff in Ramapo, and she will offer in detail reviews of it based on the laws and the zoning, and issue a statement. And again, if she disapproves, then it requires a supermajority in order for your boards to approve it. So it's very important to deal with these people. Okay, that's about all I have here. So if there's any questions? If there's no questions, oh yes. In Orangetown? No, not yet. Well, I think one of our members here has had some conversation with people in Orangetown, but they haven't formed a coupon yet, but I'm pretty sure they will because there's some things happening in Orangetown that they may not be fully aware of yet. So they will be incensed when the population at large find out what's going on, like you have. Yes.
I received one of those letters that you're referring to, home investors. And
Yes.
I'm just wondering if anyone else in this room has also received it. They're saying they want to buy my house, there's no closing costs, all cash, this. And I would like to know what we can do with this and stop it.
Well, if you gather enough of them, you should give those to your coupon representatives, and we will include that with what we pass on to the Department of State through our elected officials.
I would like, has anyone else gotten this letter in the mail?
I see other hands raised. Okay, thank you.
Thank you,
Any other
Michael.
questions? Yes.
My question is, you mentioned something briefly in passing about keeping the focus on land use.
Yes.
You also briefly mentioned our local. Now, where there is a link, and I think we need to make sure we understand the link, is when some populations using the local law are saying that overdevelopment is required due to their lifestyle. And that is where that murkiness comes in. And we have to figure out what the best strategy is to effectively combat that. Because let's imagine that my religion says that I need to have a 10-bedroom house. And you say the 10-bedroom house doesn't fit in a 3-bedroom neighborhood. And I say, well, now you're not allowing me to practice my religion. Therefore, you're against my religion because it doesn't.
No, there's some confusion here. Overdevelopment, development of homes does not fall under our local law. The only thing that falls under our local law are houses of worship and schools, private schools. Okay? So those fall, if people just want to modify houses and build